Okay, good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone who is just joining. This is Pritesh here. I'll be your host for today, and we will start our webinar on the topic data structures and algorithms. The topic for today is data structures and algorithms, and how do you learn them from the scratch? Okay. Now, let me just start by introducing our mentor for today. Her name is Veda Vinothini, right? And I'll just give you a brief detail about her. So her qualification is in computer science and engineering. She was the department topper. Her work experience was she's worked in companies like Caresoft Global as a team lead in machine learning domain and worked in various AI and ML projects. Okay. Her domain knowledge is in deep learning, image processing, TensorFlow, GCP. And she's also Google Cloud certified deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence developer. Okay. And that's about her. Now, let me just welcome her and she will just take it over from here. Okay. Uh, Hi, Veda. Have you joined?
Yeah, thank you, Pratish. So I welcome everyone, guys. So today's topic will be how to learn algorithm and data structures from scratch, right? So I hope you know about this topic, and about myself, Pratish have clarified all the questions, and now we are just jumping into the agenda, right? So what is the agenda for the day is what is data structure and algorithm, and you will be learning what are the types of data structure, and along with that the steps you are going to learn. So from the scratch you are just going to start, right? So you wanted to learn from the basic step and step. So that's the thing we will be learning, and also we will be analyzing something which is we are going to implement in the language of Python. Okay, so we will analyze that as well. So first of all, before starting to this, you need to know what is data structures and algorithm, right? So I hope a few of the persons are from programming background, or those who have no ideas. I will be letting you know what is the basics of data structures. Okay, so before starting to this, there is a data in world. Okay, so of course everybody knew, everybody is having an Android or iOS or any mobile in your hand. So always your data are getting collected by any of the companies or anything like that. Okay, just imagine like that. First of all, you are having a data. Okay, so what the company will be doing, they will be structuring or storing that particular data, right? So how they will be structuring or storing that? By using the few of the algorithms that is present in the data structures. Okay, so there are plenty of algorithms you are going to learn, and I will be teaching you each and everything in a step by step manner. Okay, so first of all, you are having a data, and after that they wanted to store that particular data in a concept of data structure. Okay, why they wanted to store that? Because they want to perform some operations, some of the CRUD operations like creating, like retrieval and updating or deleting. So they want to perform something and they need to show that in a UI, right? So just take an example of as an Instagram. So while you are creating a profile, just the data is created. Okay, so after that you are just posting something and then updating something, and you are commenting, or you are doing some of the operations, right? So what the particular company will be doing in the back end of coding is, they will be storing that particular data to perform some operations. Okay, so this particular concept will be coming under the data structures. Okay, so now first of all, through the theory concept, I'm just going to explain it. Okay, so of course it is from the concept of computer science. And why you wanted to do this? Because you wanted to efficiently get the data from the users, and then you want to store it more efficiently, and then for retrieval. So that's the basic line. Yeah, and after that, data structures and algorithm is the very important topic each and every software engineer is going to work. So whatever it may be, like in full stack development or an Android application, or any kind of like in wrist applications or wristwatch applications. So there are plenty of applications available, right? So each and every applications you take, you want to apply this data structures along with the algorithm to get the efficient output. Okay, so this is the baseline. So now, of course, you wanted to choose the appropriate data structure. So I previously said there are plenty of data structures available, right? So you wanted to, as a good software engineer, you need to know how complexity is. This a best is this giving a best case, or is it a worst case algorithm? So you need to know how to pick that particular algorithm for the given problem statement. Okay, so that's how you will be understanding this entire data structures concept. Okay guys, so now just step into the few steps you wanted to learn to start from the data structures till the advanced thing. Okay, so now first thing is step 0. So before starting to this, you need to stick to any of the programming language. For example, you know what is the programming language, right? So C, C++, Python, Java. So there are plenty of programming languages available. Okay, first of all, you need to stick to any of the one programming language, because why I'm just insisting that is you need to know the syntax of that particular program clearly. Okay, so when the interviewer, or you are just going to crack any interview or any thing related to that, you need to know the syntax correctly, right? So that's why you need to stick to one programming language. So any programmer or any interviewer will never ask you to implement this particular program, this language only you should pick or something. They will only ask the logic. Okay, so they will ask you to write it in any programming language which you are comfortable with. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you need to stick to any of the one programming knowledge, and you want to know all the entire concept inside that. Okay, so that's going to be the one. And second one, the Python is the preferred due to its advantage. Of course, it is an open source and plenty of libraries are available. So what is the advantage of Python is it is an open source, and there are plenty of libraries available like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. So whatnot, it is available. Everything is available inside this Python. So you can preferably choose this Python for all the programming language implementation. Okay, so third thing is you need to learn the any of the one IDE. Okay, so if you just pick this Python, just pick Visual Studio Code or Atom or any of the Python IDE to learn how to write the code and how to compile it, how to interpret each and every coding. So for example, if you're writing 3 lines of codes, for example, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and third thing is you're just going to perform as addition of 2 values. Okay, that's it. So what is the thing you wanted to know is how the compiler is working, how the data is passed. Like if A is equal to 1, 1 will be assigned to the A. So what kind of assignment? So it is a left assignment. So this kind of thing and all you needed to understand. Okay, so this is why you need to be comfortable with all the concepts inside a single language. Okay, so this is the basic step of starting any of the concepts. Okay, so now this is the step 1. Okay, so here while you are just understanding the concepts of algorithm complexity, okay, first of all you understand how to write or implement a language or any coding with a language. Okay, that's what the first 0th step is. That is like Python. Okay, you chose that. Now you wanted to understand how I can write this particular program. Should I write it as A is equal to 1, B is equal to 5, and then print A plus B, and then, or C is equal to A plus B, and then printing C? So is that this many steps are really needed? So you wanted to think as a good programmer, you need to think those things and all. Okay, so based on the algorithmic complexity, you need to write your code wisely. That's the important thing. Okay, so for each and every piece of code you write, you should able to derive both time and space complexity. Okay, this is something much more important. Okay, so time complexity is something like how much time that particular compiler or the particular code is taking to compile that particular entire code to give the output. Okay, so that is the time complexity. And what is space complexity? Of course, how much space it is taking. For example, if you are just assigning 2 variables like A and B, then what it is going to say, like it will create a space for A, and also it will create a space for B, and then while adding that, if you are assigning that A and B to C, C will also have some space. Okay, so these kind of things and all you wanted to keep that in your mind mind. So if you're writing some code, you need to identify what is the time complexity and then space complexity. Of course, this is the most of the important thing in any of the interview or any of the interviewer who is asking to write you some program. They will of course definitely ask about what is the time complexity of this and what is the space complexity and how to improve that. If you know this kind of questions, then you are placed. Okay, so this is the basic important thing. And after that, there are certain types of complexity and algorithm, like in best case and then worst case complexity. For example, best case means for each and every algorithm there will be two things. Okay, so we can just manage like a three things also, like best, average, and then worst case. Okay, so best case means that will be having the good time complexity and also space complexity, and average means of course it's the one step below, and then worst case means that is like in the worst case of that particular program can run when that particular case came in. Okay, so these are the cases you wanted to understand. Okay, so as of now, we understood what is an algorithm and how to write a coding and then how to identify that particular complexity, like in time and space, and what is best and worst case scenario. So those kind of things and all we understood right now. So there are plenty of topics you need to need to learn before entering into the data structures or any coding concept. Okay, so this greedy method, divide and conquer, dynamic programming, shortest path problem, linear programming, reduction, backtracking, and branch and bound. So these are the few steps you needed to learn before writing any of the program. Okay, so what is this thing is like for a particular solution, for a particular problem statement, if you are writing a solution, there are plenty of solutions are available. So those kind of things are called feasible solution. What is feasible solution? That means for a single problem there might be 5 or 6 solutions can be available. Okay, so that is a feasible solution. Yeah, so finding the optimal solution is the good programmer's work, right? So you wanted to find the best algorithm or best solution out of all these 6 solutions. Okay, so for finding that, you can use this algorithms like greedy method, divide and conquer, dynamic programming, or shortest path problem. There are plenty of things available. Okay, so you need to understand these things as the first step. Okay, so first of all, what is greedy method means? Of course, this is the decision is made like without thinking the future, the consequences, without thinking about the consequences, this solution will be provided. Okay, so if you wanted to work in any of the problem statement which the solution wanted to be given very faster, okay, in that particular case you can use this greedy method. Okay, so there are some example I just added. You can the like knapsack problem and then activity selection. So there are these examples you can use for greedy method. And divide and conquer, what is this divide and conquer means? This is like previously you might have heard about kingdom and all, right? So what they will do, like as a king or a queen, what they will do, they will just divide that thing, and then like for in one department they will be having a member or leader, and then they will divide and then they will conquer. If they do like that, then they can manage each and every department, right? So same thing is applied here. So divide and conquer means first of all it will divide, and then it will give importance to the first division and then to the second part. So that's how it will complete that entire problem. Okay, so few examples I also added: merge sort and quick sort. Okay, so this particular concept will be coming under divide and conquer algorithm. Yeah girls. Okay, now dynamic programming. So what is dynamic programming means? This is also something like divide and conquer, but dynamic programming means based on your problem statement, the application will be changing. So for example, the recursion is one of the important thing this dynamic programming is going to take. And while doing this, so while dynamically the data can be changed, and then based on the learning rate, the data will be recursively trained and then it will be evaluating. Okay, this is the basic line of dynamic programming. So few examples I just added: So 0 to 1 knapsack and then subset problems. Okay, so you wanted to learn each and everything under this particular algorithm as well. Okay, so shortest path problem means this is one of the important thing. Like shortest path problem means it is like in searching. So for example, airline is there, right? So our airline or any of the tracking thing you wanted to identify, like in a Google Maps or any of the airplane industry. So if they are finding any of the path from the source to destination, they will be using all these algorithm. Okay, so first one is BFS, that is breadth first search, and Dijistra's algorithm, and Bellman-Ford A-star algorithm, and then Floyd-Warshal's. Okay, so these are the important algorithms you need to learn below shortest path problem concept. Okay, now the concept is linear programming. Okay, so what is linear programming means? Of course, you will be having an inputs and then you will be performing everything. So what is linear? From the name itself, you can identify that is you will be processing in a step-by-step manner. Okay, guys. So this particular concept will be coming under linear programming. So few examples like maximum flow of directed graph. So under direct graph concepts, this linear programming will be coming. So I don't want to confuse you much. Like linear programming will be coming under graph. So in upcoming slides, I will be sharing what is graph and what those kind of things will be coming under. Okay, so just understand what is linear programming, and this particular algorithm will be coming under for solving some problems. Okay, and what is reduction? So that is like in transform and conquer. So previously we saw divide and conquer, right? So this is also the same thing, but here based on our requirement, we will be transforming the data. Okay, we need to transform that data and then conquer it. Okay, so that this is similar to that. So after that, it is backtracking. So what is backtracking means? Okay, just imagine you are just going to the source to destination. Yeah. So now if you're just going till pit of five pits, you're just moving. And after that you identify that okay, this is not, I'm just not going to get the output. So the destination is not nearby and some person is telling to you or something is happening. Okay, so at that particular time, what you're going to do, you can come back to your origin, like in source position, and then add someone, or you can move to the new direction. Okay, so this particular thing is called as backtracking, and you will always keep a note of everything. Okay, so if someone is asking, okay, is pit 5 is the good way to reach the destination, if someone is asking, you will be saying that okay, no, that is not a good way. So this kind of tracking and then memorizing each and every steps is called as backtracking. So this is one of the important thing. So endpoint problems is one of the example, and then maze problem. So for example, there is a game called maze game is there, right? So like it will be like they will be ordering or organizing maze like a piece of papers, and then they will just allow the persons to move on, and then they wanted to find the destination. So these kind of problems and all, backtracking algorithm is the best solution for finding that. Okay, so branch and bound. So this is also another concept. So branching means like you are creating a branches, multiple branches, you wanted to create a solution, and then finally you are just bounding it as a solution, like you are just dividing something like into 10 or 20, and then finally bounding that based on your best solutions. Okay, so for example, there is a job scheduling problem and then traveling salesman problem. Okay, so what is traveling salesman problem is, like if the person is going to sell something, if that person went to the street 1 already, then he will never go to that particular street 1, right? So that kind of thing and all, they wanted to keep that in their mind, right? So for that particular thing and all, this branch and bound is the one of the important thing. So out of these all algorithms, shortest path algorithm is one of the important. So I will just give the review of that once again. So breadth first, Dijistra's, Bellman and Ford, A-star and Floyd-Warshall. Okay. So and after that, backtracking is also one of the important algorithm you always wanted to know. Okay, guys. So now it's the time for poll.
Okay. So the poll will be live, and I would request everyone to go ahead and answer the poll, because it will help us understand whether you understood the concept or not. So I would request everyone to go ahead and participate in the poll. Okay, I've got few entries. Okay, perfect. So I'll be closing the poll quickly. Whoever wants to answer, just answer the poll. Wonderful, wonderful. I can see a lot of people have answered it. All right. Over to you, Veda.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, now we're back to the next topic. So previously we learned about all the data structures, right? So something like the algorithm concept, like in how to project something and how to get a solution out of the each and every problems. That is the step one. We just focused into that. So now this step two is one of the important thing. So you need to understand the concept of linear data structure and then non-linear data structure. Okay, so what is linear data structure means? From the name itself, it is in a linear manner. What is that? It is organized in a sequential manner. Okay, of course, non-linear thing means it is not in a sequential, it might be in a hierarchical manner. So that's it. From the name itself, you can get the understanding, right? So now linear data structure. So data structure is something like, of course, it is in a sequential manner, and then every time you just wanted to get the data, you need to verify the previous and also the next element. So this is how you can perform any operation inside this data structures. Okay, and then in this particular linear data structure, there are plenty of ways you can implement this one. So arrays, stack, queues, and linked lists. So this is the one of the important thing you wanted to understand before understanding this particular concept. Okay, so now I will be teaching you some diagram. Okay, so look into this picture. This will be giving you the basic understanding of what we are just going to learn. Yeah, data structures. So linear data structure and then non-linear. So inside linear, you are just gonna learn about arrays, stacks, queues, and linked list. Okay, and then after non-linear data structure, it is going to be graph and tree. Okay, now yeah, in step two, so the same concept, but here if you wanted to in any of the data structures, if you wanted to learn in each and every concept like array, stack, queue, linked list, you will be learning about searching, sorting, insertion, deletion, and traversal. Of course, this is the important operation every data structure is going to perform. Even though it is a linear data structure or non-linear data structure, this particular searching, sorting, insertion, deletion, and traversal is one of the important thing every data structure is going to perform. Okay, so now we are just moving to non-linear data structure. So non-linear data structure means it is not in a sequential manner. Of course, it might be in a hierarchical way, and after that, even though if there is a linear data structure available, why non-linear data structure is getting introduced? Okay, that might be your question in your mind, right? So linear data structure is something like it is formed in a sequential manner, right? So there might be some issue in accessing some values, or there might be it is not complex, or it is not optimized, or there might be some issues inside that. Okay, so that's why this nonlinear data structures came in, and then this particular nonlinear data structure utilizes the computer memory much more efficient. Okay, so that is the reason you are just going to nonlinear data structure, and inside this nonlinear data structures you are going to learn about trees and graphs. Okay, so entire tree concept and entire graph concept, you are going to have insertion, deletion, updation, and traversal. Of course, everything you will be having. And after this, you wanted to learn about the complexity of each and every particular data structures. Okay, so for example, let's see here, it is an array. Okay, so for example, if you are accessing that, what is the time complexity? It is in a complexity of order of 1. So this is why I said in the previous slides, you need to understand each and every time complexity. Okay, that is called as big O, big theta, and big omega. There are plenty of things you also wanted to learn under the complexity. If you are clear in that, then while seeing this particular concept, it will be much easier for you to understand. Okay, guys. So now accessing it is order of 1. Search, if you are searching something in array, this is order of n, and this is insertion order of n, deletion also order of n. This is when it is in a good case, that is in a average particular case, or in a best case you can say that. So in the worst case, that means if you are identifying the data and then it is at the end of your array, okay, that scenario will come under worst case. Okay, so for that and all, it is order of 1, order of n, and order of n. Okay, so you can see this particular thing, and it is also recorded in our YouTube Unikaksha, so you can refer to this particular thing whenever you are just learning about this complexity things. So stack, queue, singly linked list, doubly linked list, hash table, binary search tree, B tree, split tree. So there are plenty of things you can understand out of this complexity concept. Okay, guys. So now it's the time for poll 2.
Okay, the poll is live, everyone. Again, just come forward and answer the poll so that we have a clarity that you are with us and you are understanding what we are actually trying to teach. Perfect. So I'll be closing the poll last few seconds. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Vida, over to you.
So guys, I hope answers very correctly, right? So now we learned about how to start with algorithms, and then how to understand or implement or to get your solutions by various type of algorithms, and then third thing you learned about different types of data structures. Okay, so after this, the step 4, as a step 4, you need to learn some of the simple algorithms with the complexity. Okay, so some sorting. So even though inside your array concept or linked list or anything, you are going to have a sorting thing, but while implementing the sorting along with this particular insertion sort, merge sort, quick sort, or heap sort, or anything like this, then you will be getting the much efficient output. Okay, so of course sorting means if you're just giving something as a any values, then your output will be in an ascending sorting or else in a descending sorting. But why you are having these many sorting types, that might be your question, right? So why you are having that? So based on each and every sorting, your time complexity and space complexity varies. Okay, taking the best thing for your particular problem statement is the wisest idea. Okay, so sorting take, insert sort, merge sort, quick, bucket, radial, and external sorting. So these many things you wanted to learn under sorting concept. Okay, and searching concept, you wanted to learn linear search and then binary search. Okay, so this is one of the important things. Searching will be always helpful in any of the problem statement. For example, just take everything like in an even though in any of the social media, if you are searching someone with the ID name or anything, and then in a Google map if you are searching something, some location, or in a Google Chrome if you are searching something, so there are plenty of searchings is available in our real-time world, right? So you need to learn about this searching algorithm as well. So inside that prime number, so these are the things you just wanted to get into know, something like a primality test and few concepts in the prime numbers. And then under strings, string is one of the important thing. Every interviewer at the very first round or the very second round, they wanted to identify your capability of writing anything in a string that will decide them to hire you or not. Okay, so this is one of the important trick you can learn. Like you wanted to understand the searching concept, and also there is one more thing, slicing is also there, right? So you wanted to learn searching, slicing, and then LCS, palindrome detection. Of course, the few concepts related to that also you wanted to learn. And then miscellaneous thing can be Euclidean algorithm. So Euclidean means it is helpful for identifying the distance between 2 points. Okay, so matrix multiplication, Fibonacci number, Pascal triangle, so max subarray problem. So there are plenty of things you wanted to learn. So as of now, up to step 0 to step 3, if you are clear, just come to step 4. Okay, so then only this particular concepts you can use those previous concepts to implement these solutions. Okay, so this is one of the important thing. So Euclidean algorithm, matrix multiplication. So multiplication you can think as addition, subtraction as well. Okay, so Fibonacci numbers, so there are plenty of numbers, you know, right? So natural numbers, whole numbers, so real numbers. So you wanted to understand the basics of math and statistics. That is one of the important thing in any of the programming language. And then Pascal triangle. So like they can ask you to print your name as well. Okay, so your name is something like which will come under some of the triangle or any of the alphabets, right? So you need to know how to print your name by coding itself. So that will also help you in some of the coding. So I heard someone in an interview, so they asked them to write their name. That's it. Some actually his or her name is like in very lengthier name. So 3 or 4 names are attached to them. So the interviewer asked to print that name. That's it. That person, what they did, they just pick the Python programming language and then they just use the simple array concept and then they just printed with the star and then they just got placed. Okay, so these are the few interview tips that can be taken from this learning of algorithms. Okay, so this particular thing you wanted to know. And after this, I will tell you a few of the complexities of each and every algorithm. Okay, so first of all, it is a quick sort. So whenever you are selecting any of the sorting technique, quick sort and heap sort along with the bubble sort. So these all concepts are much more important. So each and every sorting technique is different. You need to understand that very clearly. Okay, so while learning about this particular sorting technique, you need to take a note. Okay, just okay, best case, average case, worst case, you know. Okay, so what is the algorithm, or what kind of, is it a following divide and conquer, or is it following backtracking? So those kind of things on all, take that as a tip. Okay, so in a last minute preparation for an interview, you can make use of that. And then if you refer that thing, okay, so this particular thing, right? So merge sort, that means this is the algorithm I needed to do. And if it is heap sort, so I will be creating a heap and then performing something. So write a 1 line or 2 line about that particular sorting technique and then create a chart. Okay, so that's how you will be updating yourself. So of course everybody will be just struggling to remember each and every concept, right? So there are plenty of things under data science and algorithms. So data structures is one of the important thing. So while learning about that, you need to have an tricks and tips. You need, if you have that thing, then you can easily ace any of the interview or this particular concepts. Okay, so that's the simple tips I wanted to share. And time sort, heap, bubble sort. So learning about complexity, right? So you will be learning about what is this theta, what is this omega, or what is this big O, and all. You will be getting an idea. Okay, guys. So now, say bucket sort, radix sort, counting sort, classes available. Of course, you need to remember each and every best case scenario, average and worst case. Okay, you need to really make this as an important thing and take a note of it. This particular thing will be always asked in any of the interviews. Okay, if you wanted to crack any of the man companies, of course this is the basic step. In the round 1 or round 2, you will be having this particular thing along with the complexity. Okay, so that's it. Now few more things. Okay, in step 5, you need to learn few more things in depth. Okay, so non-linear data structure. So what is it? Trees and graphs, right? So we learned about that. So what is trees? Inside tree, you need to learn binary along with the binary search tree. Binary tree is different with binary search tree. Okay, BST is different with binary search. Okay, so learn about that difference first and then learn about this. Okay, so of course inside that tree, the lowest common ancestor, so depth, height, diameter, finding the k smallest element. So if you are learning about binary search tree, Like you wanted to understand each and every concepts like node, what is vertex, what is edge. Okay, there are plenty of concepts it's having, so you need to learn everything clearly. Yeah. After that, heap is also one of the important concept you wanted to learn. Inside that also you can perform all the CRUD operations. Okay. So hash table, that is the third thing. So this hash table is something where in many of the Google interviews, hash table is one of the important concept every interviewer is asking. Okay, recently I just got an information about this. So hash table, creating a hash table in Python and then performing any solution will be giving the good complexity. Okay, time complexity. Okay, so if you are using any of the array list or any linked list, comparative to that, creating a hash table is much more efficient. Okay, this is one of the important thing, keep that in your mind. Source problem, checking Sudoku solution is valid. So there are plenty of things this hash table is gonna give you. Okay, so just learn about this clearly. And after that, I wanted to learn about the graph. So inside graph, of course, breadth first search, depth first search, BFS and DFS, and topological sorting and minimum spanning tree and shortest path problem. Okay, here while you are hearing about shortest path problem, you might have got an idea about the previous slides, right? So A star, Dijistra's algorithm. So where this shortest path problem is applicable? When you are identifying the distance between any of the source and destination. For example, it may be a Google map or it can be any of the delivery application. So they will be incorporating this shortest path problem to identify the solution. Okay, that these you wanted to understand. So from the scratch, from the step 0 if you start till the step 5, then you can able to understand or you can get the basics, what is the essence of data structures and algorithm. Okay, so learn from the step 0 to step 5 step by step very clearly, and then understand each and every concepts very minutely. Okay, so that one of the important thing. And after that, so step 6. So if you are clear about all these step 5, so you need to learn as a step 6, you need to learn about computational complexity theory. Okay, so this is something like much more new to you guys. So maybe you might have heard about data structures previously. So this computational complexity thing and all will be coming under algorithms concept. Okay, so NP completeness, so N problem, NP problem. So there are plenty of things you wanted to understand. So under that, knapsack problem, traveling salesman problem, and then SAT problem. So these are one of the important problems you needed to learn. So after completing your data structures concept like linear and non-linear, like arrays, stacks, queues, linked list, and after that tree graph, jump into this computation complexity. Okay, so keep this as a last step, and then learn about this NP and NP problems and also computational complexity which is related to that, and learn about knapsack problem, traveling salesman problem, and then SAT problems. Okay, so if you learn in this particular manner, then everything will be covered in all DSA concepts. Okay, so now it's the time for poll 3.
Yeah. So the poll is find out which comes under linear data structures: array, linked list, strings, stacks, queues, or all of the above. Yeah. Do go ahead and answer the questions so that we have a clarity in terms of where have you understood or where are you going wrong. Perfect. So I'll be closing the poll now. Thank you. Thank you. And I can see most of the people have answered it right. The answer for this question was all of the above. Thank you, Veda. You can take it over.
So now as the step 7, final step is going to be this, guys. So of course, if you understand or learn about these concepts, you need to learn from and get certified from the reputed platform. Okay, that is much more important. Like even though you knew about everything, as in your while you was any programmer or an interviewer is seeing something in a link in your LinkedIn profile, they will be searching for some of the well-reputed platform certifications. Okay, so if you just completed some certification from the well-reputed companies or well-reputed platform, then you will be directly qualified for the interview round. Okay, so this is not for a fresher. For an just an experienced person of 1 or 2 or 3 years, if you're having these kind of certifications in your particular domain and LinkedIn profile, then you are one of the persons to be selected very fast. Okay, till the interview process it will be easier. So in interview, of course, you needed to crack that. Okay, so second thing is always you need to practice, practice and practice. So this particular rule is always you wanted to do that. Okay, so even though you learn about from the step 0 to step 6, everything is perfectly good. But while during that interview preparation, if you are not just have enough of practice sessions, then you will be lagging something in the interview. Okay, so just practice before appearing to any of the interview. Then this data structures, of course, this data structures concept is much more important in any of the product based company. So in service based companies also they are asking, but in product based companies, of course, data structures and algorithms is one of the important thing. They will always evaluate, even though you knew something related to new technologies like machine learning or AI or ML, they did not bother about that. So if you are clear about data structures, then you are selected. Okay, so that is the only thing you wanted to keep it in your mind. So before mastering anything, need hard work and persistence. Of course, a few tips I'm sharing. Yeah. So before mastering anything, you need to put your 100% into that particular work. I'm just noting that as a hard work. Don't do a hard work. Just do a smart work. That is perfectly good. Of course, if you are 100% into that, you will know how to work into that and then create a solution. Yeah. And then persistence, of course, you know that. So do that thing. If you want to master anything, I'm just giving this as a tip for learning any concepts which you are going to learn. Yeah, so start from building blocks. Of course, you wanted to learn from the basics. There are plenty of original tutorials available. Okay, so don't refer to any of the other tutorials. Just always stick to, if you are learning about Python, go to Python.org. Okay, so inside that you will be getting the official documentation. Learn from that. Okay, so don't stick to any of the other platforms or anything for referring the content. Original contents will be only shared from the official documentation. Okay, so start the basic building block and then get comfortable with the basic ones, and after that move to the advanced topic. So this is how you will ace any problems which is coming to you, or you can learn much more important things or much more important concepts in computer science. Okay guys, so now okay, finally, if you are learning this Python, or if you are working in any of the data structures thing, of course, you can become a Python developer, or if you know about this particular data structures and thing, you can become a full stack developer or anything related to that. Here, I just added only for Python developer. So as a fresher, you can get from 6 LPA till max to 12 LPA. I'm just not limiting that max. Okay, just based on your company and based on your performance and the willing to learn much more new libraries, you can get max up to 15, 18 or 20. There is no limit. Okay, so you can learn and get much more to your table. So that's it guys. So I just want to leave you here. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Veda. And I would like to ask if there is any questions that you want to be addressed, and anyone wants to ask any questions, please use the Q&A section. Veda is here, she'll answer the questions. So we have a question from Akshay Pawar. Veda, how much DSA is enough for service-based companies?
Yeah, like any of the companies, if you are going to be getting placed, of course, you needed to know about this data structures. Okay, so this is like a basic line, guys. Okay, you wanted to understand this data structures or learn this data structures concept, then only you can get placed to any of the companies. So if you are getting placed to learn about or if you are getting placed in any of the product based companies, so this is mandatory. Data structures is mandatory. Of course, in service-based companies also, they are just having these many questions. So they are just grading now So of course you will be getting the questions from data structures. Yeah.
You can check the Q&A. There's one question from Pranav.
Sure.
Which is the best platform for learning data science?
Okay. Guys, our Unicaksha is providing a data science course. Okay, so post this meeting, you can get contact to our particular person in the meeting. Okay, just leave your particular name. They will be getting you contacted. Yeah. So from how much time we need to learn data structures and algorithm completely? So that can be like 15 days of time, 15 to 20 days. You can learn the entire data structures and algorithms. Okay, so if you really are into that particular thing, like in 3 hours, 4 hours, if you are spending every day, you can complete it with 20 days of time. Yeah. Okay, so for cracking the service-based companies, Akshay, so you need to learn linear and also non-linear. So there is no limit. Okay, so while you don't need to give importance to any of the NP completeness, that is in the step 7 or step thing, right? So you don't need to focus that in that much. So from the basics, some step 0, 1, 2. That is enough. Okay, complete until step 2, then you can get placed in any of the service-based companies. Okay. Yeah, Ravi Kumar, there is also a course which is available in this Unicaksha. You can learn along with the Python language as well. Okay, so data science, data structures along with the algorithm, you will be learning with addition to Python programming as well. Okay, so there is also one course available. You can contact one of the members in our meeting. Yeah. So anything else?
I think that's pretty much about it. And thank you so much, Veda, for this wonderful session. And I hope everyone understood the concepts of data science and algorithms and what needs to be learned to crack interviews. And thank you so much once again, Veda. And to the remaining attendees, I would just like to draw your attention towards one particular thing. Everyone asks which is the best platform, to learn. So basically, here at Unicaksha, what we do is we are an upskillment platform that is specifically designed for people who are looking to take their career to the next level. All right, where our key USP lies in the USP is that we have people from the industry who have worked with top tech companies. These are the people who are going to train you and give you that hands-on skill sets that is required. Secondly, we are a platform wherein you will receive a certification once you complete the program, and we offer 100% live classes, right? So the beauty of live classes is that you get to ask as many doubts as you have. And it's a very interactive session rather than you sitting in front of the screen and just listening to. All right. So that is just a few of the USPs of a program. And if you wish to know more about our program, I will launch a poll, right, where you can just you would like to hear more about this program. Once again, thank you so much for connecting and joining on a Saturday morning. Thank you so much. Everyone, please do fill the poll with whatever your answer is. It's either a yes or a no. Okay. Thank you.